Welcome to session 4. In the last session, I have discussed about few HTML tags. Along with that, I have discussed on semantic elements of HTML. That is about a tags called header, footer, article, aside, section, figure, figure caption, so on like that. So, and also have given a simple program where we are making use of such tags to develop a web page. So, along with that, one more tag I need to discuss in this session, that is let me discuss one more tag called hgroup tag. So, hgroup is a tag used to store all the heading tags. So, it can only store a heading tags. For example, yes. So, like this, you can consider an hgroup tag to store only the heading tags. So, in case if you add a tag called paragraph p tag to inside an hgroup means it is not allowed. Okay. This is one simple example of using only header tags inside an hgroup tag. Okay. So, finally, we have discussed many tags and at the same time have given you a simple programs where we are using those tags. So, finally, let me tell you a structure or syntax of an HTML document. This is a structure of HTML document. So far, I have already explained few simple HTML documents. So, now you will be having a clear idea on this structure of HTML document because already you have got to know how to create a simple web pages using simple HTML programs. Okay. So, let me explain on each instructions. So, this is what the first statement, as you all know that doc type declares which type of document it is, which type it is, HTML document. This is root tag of an HTML document, head. So far in a simple program, I was writing only a head. Here you can notice I have written a property called lang, which stands for language. In which language we are going to code an HTML document. Which one? The value will be enclosed within a pair of double quotes. In English language, we are going to implement a program. Next, meta. So, this is meta is a tag which is used to give a detailed information. Okay. So, what detailed information it is providing means character set is encoded in this format, that is UTF-8. Next is title, to give the title to our program. Syntax, I have written a syntax of simple program, right? So, that is why the title have given a syntax, also close the title. Next, see, you can notice I have introduced another instruction, that is link. Is it right? Link instruction. So, this one in this session only you will get to know how that particular link tag can be used in CSS. Okay. So, next is about script. So, this statement you will get to know while discussing JavaScripts. After that, close the head tag, open the body, and also inside the body you all know that you can make use of different set of tags to decorate your web page. After that, close the body and also close the HTML. So, this is a structure of HTML document. So far we have discussed structure of HTML documents and simple tags, and also the tags used for formatting purposes, and also different semantic elements to create a web page. Is it right? So now we will move on to a second chapter of this module, that is CS. Yes. So now we will discuss on a second chapter of module 1, that is CSS, where CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. Cascading Style Sheet. So why this CSS is used means, it is used to format the layout of a web page. It means that in current web development practices, HTML should not describe the formatting or presentation of a document. Instead, that task is being performed by CSS. Okay, it means that CSS is completely dedicated to style the document or to decorate the document. So that's why CSS is also called as styling language. Okay, so it is used to define the presentation of HTML document. So using HTML, you are not describing the format or presentation of a document. So that presentation is been dedicated for CSS. Okay. So next, so how you can present the document using CSS means by changing the properties like font, font size, color, image, background image, so on like that. So using these types of properties, you can present the HTML document well. So next is about what are all the benefits of using CSS. So the first benefit is about improved control over formatting. So improved control over formatting means the degree of formatting control in CSS is significantly better than that of the HTML. So it is more dedicated for presentation of HTML document. It means formatting the HTML document. It has an improved facility. Second benefit is improved site maintainability. If all the websites are built using CSS means it is comparatively more maintainable. Second one, improved site maintainability. Websites becomes significantly more maintainable when they are built using CSS file, since all the formatting will be done in one CSS file. So that's why it has been centralized, so it will be easily maintainable. Third one is improved accessibility. There are certain accessible tools. So using such tools, it will be having improved accessibility. Fourth benefit is improved page download speed. Yes. So when you compare to other type of documents, if a document has been built with the support of CSS means its speed will be more to download the page. Last benefit is improved output flexibility. Improved output flexibility. Yes. So the document built with the support of CSS can be supported with different output medias. So that's why it is also called as responsive design. So next topic is CSS versions. Okay. So there are different versions of CSS available, CSS 2 and CSS 3. Currently we are making use of CSS 3. Next one is browser adoption. In earlier cases, whatever the languages or any applications which we are making use on will be platform dependent. Is it right? Likewise, the earlier case of CSS version which was developed was supporting only for the Microsoft Internet Explorer, but now the recent versions of CSS will be supportable in all the types of browsers. Next, we will move on to a very important topic, that is, CSS syntax. Okay, so this is the syntax of using CSS. So this CSS syntax begins with a selector. So this term will be new for you, is it right? So what do you mean by a selector? Yes, selector identifies to which tag or element of HTML doc will be affected. Yes, so selector identifies to which element or a tag of HTML document will be affected by this rule. So CSS syntax consists of one or more rules. So whatever the rules we are applying, that will be, whatever the rules we are passing, those rules will be applied to a particular tag. So by taking example, you will get to know. So this is about selector. Next is property 1. So there are different properties. I will list out shortly, and each property should be assigned with a valid values. Like that, you may have a, see, this is completely called one declaration. This is second declaration. So overall this makes a declaration block. Okay, so each property should be assigned with a value, and also each declarations are separated by semicolon. Okay, so this is an example of CSS syntax. So now let me take an example. Selector. So again I will repeat, selector identifies to which tag or element of HTML document will be affected. So CSS means it is a styling language. You have to do some formatting or presentation for an HTML language. So you are presenting the tag by setting some style. Yes. So now I am going to introduce one more tag called style tag. So this style is used for presenting the HTML document. How? You will get to know. For example, I am taking one simple example here. I am taking selector as H1. Selector is nothing but HTML tag only. So for which tag you are going to present? Okay, so property. I am giving the property as color, colon, which color you want, red. I am setting only one rule. Okay, so now what happens in your HTML document, wherever you have used this tag, for this particular tag content, the properties will be set in this way. So let me write a simple example on this. Finally, you will get to know. So hope you have understood this CSS syntax. Okay. Next is about properties. Properties means what? I have given here, right? Property 1, property 2, so on like that, right? So what type of properties you can do? Already we have worked with simple programs, right? Thereby you have got to know few properties like color or align, like that, right? So there are varieties of property. For example, font. So font is a property used for changing the font size, font color or font family, font variant, so on like that. You want to specifically change the font size means you have a property called font size. Are you getting? You want to change the color, you have a property called color. You want to change background color, you have a property called background color. So likewise, there are so many list of properties available. Okay. At the same time, for each property, you cannot give the value as you wish. No. For example, if you want to use a property called font size means where you are working to increase or decrease the size of the font. Is it right? So you can give in terms of 32 px or you can give 28 point. Is it right? So you can give 20 percentage. So you can notice, right, I am giving the value in different units of measure. In one case I have given px in terms of pixel. In one case I have given pt, that is points. In another case percentage. So it indicates that some of the units are applicable in relative measure and some of the rules are applicable in absolute measure. In CSS 2 it was working, in CSS 3 it is working with absolute only. So by making use of different units of measure, you can make use of different units. Likewise, color. So color means you want to assign color, sorry, you need to give colon here, is it right? So color, which color you want? Red, you can give red. So instead of writing red, you can also give it in RGB also. How? Instead of giving in terms of words, you can also pass it in this way, RGB 255.0.0. Like this also it can work. So it means that they now have discussed on both properties and values at the same time. So properties means you can do some formatting. Values depends upon the property which you are using. Okay. So now here is a table where the list of properties are given. Okay. So you can make use of any of the properties. Next we will move on to a topic called location of styles. CSS can be used in HTML document in 3 ways. Okay, CSS can be used in HTML document in 3 ways. First one is inline style. Second one is embedded style or internal style. Third one is external style. Okay, so CSS can be used in an HTML in three ways. So first one, inline style. So how it works in inline style means, inline style, here style rules are placed within the HTML tag via style attribute. How means, example, I will take one simple program HTML. I am going to make head as an optional. I will start with body. So there I have a message called, so I am taking an header tag h1. I am using a message hello. Okay. So now I will run the program. Okay. So once you run this program, you can notice the output looks like this. How it has been displaying? It is printing a message hello. How to add CSS inline style in our HTML document means, using style attribute. See, h1 style attribute equals what type of style you want to do. So for example, you want to set color as pink. So now print a message hello. So now see, this is what an example of inline style. What I am doing, style rules are placed within the tag, within an HTML via attribute called style. Okay. So now what happens, I have used a style attribute and property, this is declaration, color, property, pink is the value, the message is hello. Finally, I am going to execute this program. You can look into the output. What it does, hello message is printed in which color? Pink, since you have changed the property. Is it right? So this is what CSS means, inline CSS. For example, I will take another one, P. So P style I am giving, okay, color green, messages welcome to MIT. Close the tag. So now once you run this program, what happens? You can look into the output. Hello is printed in pink color and you have given a message welcome to MIT in a paragraph tag. Is it right? But its property says it has to be printed in green color. So it is printing in green color. So this is what an example of inline style sheet or inline style. Okay. Next. Okay, next we will move on to a second type of style sheet, that is embedded style or internal style. So embedded style or internal style means used to define the style rule for entire HTML document. Used to define a style for single HTML document. For implementing embedded style or internal style sheet, you need to write an head because it works in header part only. Okay. So now I am writing the head. Okay. There I have to open style tag. So here you have to decide. For time being, I will parallelly write the body tag also here. Body, inside a body, paragraph, message hi, and H2 hello. So finally close the body, also close the HTML. So now, whereas in inline style you were setting the style inside a tag only, is it right? So now we are supposed to implement embedded style. It means you have to define a style to a single HTML. So that has to be done in a head part of your HTML document. So which are all the tags you have given in the body? Paragraph and H2, right? So now how you have to write means, write your tag P, then open the flower braces. Now which color you want? Color green. At the same time, I don't have space to continue in the same line. I am going to continue in the next line, okay? Font style, italic. Now close the. See, since we have many properties, it has been given inside a, always we have to practice to give the property inside a flower braces only in embedded style, okay? So now, so this indicates that you are giving a style for a P tag. There is one more tag H2. So it is not necessary for styling all the tags in an HTML. It is not compulsion. Okay, in any way you can do. Okay, for simple, let me do like this. So finally close the style tag, also close the head tag. Okay, so this is one complete program, starts from here and ends here. Okay, so now you run this program. What has happened? Hi is printed in green color and also in the italic style, whereas hello is printed as it is in the normal fashion. Is it right? So this is what embedded style of method used in your HTML document in using CSS. Getting? So now for the same program I am going to modify in this way. How means I am going to set the style for H2 tag also. Okay. For example, I will give color blue. Now I will close style and also I will close head. So now what happens? Let me run the program. So after running the program, you can look into the output, how it has been printed. Hi in green and italic form, also hello in which color? Blue. Understood? So this is what embedded style sheet. You can observe the output. Okay. So next we will move on to external style sheet. External style sheet. External style sheet, how it works means, all style rules are placed within separate file. So that should be a text file and which should have an extension .css. So now in this .css extension, a text file having .css extension, in that particular file we will store all the style rules. And we need to we have to link that file to our HTML document using a tag called link. I told you right in the beginning of the session, I have explained the structure of HTML document. There I have introduced the tag called link. Is it right? So that is what I am explaining now. Okay. For example, how it works means, assume first you have to open one empty text file and give a name. Assume I am giving a name called example and which is having an extension .css. There you should not write any tag, I mean to say root tag or anything like that. It has to be just you create a file in this way. After that I will come back to your HTML program. There in header part I am going to use a link tag. So equals style sheet. So what type of file you are linking? Style sheet, right? Okay, and also href. It is a reference. Okay, so what is the file name? Example.css. It should refer this. Okay, now you close your link. Now close the head, also open the body. There you can write a code. For example, P is printing hi and H3 is printing hello. Now I have to end body, also close HTML. Okay, so this is one simple program. So far we have discussed, no changes at all. Only thing is that you can notice this is what implementing external style sheet. It means that it is taking a reference of another file, which is that file example.css. And also you can notice in a body part I have not used any style attribute here. Okay, in case of inline style, within a tag I am placing the style. Is it right? In case of embedded style, I was giving a style rules within header part. I have not used any of them. Is it right? I am just referring another text file, this one. Okay, so how it looks like? I will just write this side example.css. So what are all the tags I have given here? Paragraph tag and h3 tag. So in this text file you need to set the style rules. How means? For example, P color should be green. For H3 font style is italic. I think it is not visible till there. Better I will write from the here. Font style italic. Okay. So now this is your example.css file. Nothing else should be written. Only the list of styles rules should be written there. Okay. Now you just save it and close this text file. Now you run this file. So this file is taking the reference from that particular file and there it has the style rules which are applied for this one. Okay. So finally once you run this program, you can notice the output. The message hi is printed in green color and message hello is printed in italic style. Okay. So any changes made in this CSS file will be reflected to the output of your HTML file. So this is one simple example of external style sheet. Yes, we will move on to next topic called selectors. So what do you mean by selectors? Yes. So far I have introduced selectors, right, which identifies to which tag or element of an HTML document will be affected. So for example, already I have discussed, right. For example, H1, okay, color green. So this is what I am calling it as a selector. So selector identifiers for which particular tag in an HTML will be affected with this particular style. This is the set of style. Okay. So now there are one simple example I can take to understand selectors. What is that means? Why the selector is required? Okay. For example, assume there is a class of set of students. So, while talking with a set of students, I may give an instruction for a particular student or for set of 5 students or for all students. So, if I want to give an instruction only for first bench students means I will say that first bench students stand up. Is it right? So, there is a difference, right? If I want to talk with the last bench student means I will ask them last bench student can stand up. Is it right? So, there is a difference. Is it right? So, we have to give an instructions properly for whom we are talking. So, in that way selectors is so much important because it identifies for which particular tag in an HTML we are setting the style. Okay. So, now there are different types of selectors. First one I am going to discuss is element selector. So, element selector only so far I have discussed. It is not an issue. Again I will take an example on that. HTML head and style, P color colon pink and background, then see, not only for a particular tag, you can also use body also. For body also you can set the style rule. So, body, background color, what I am setting? Assume I am setting green. So, now close the style. Also close the head, open the body, then paragraph, hi, close the body, also close the HTML. Now what happens? So before talking about the output of this program, tell me which type of style I have used, inline style or embedded style or external style. Looking at this program, yes, it is an example of embedded style or internal style. Is it right? So now in this, how do I identify an element selector? Element selector means, see, this is an example. So already I have discussed, right? This is a element or a tag and this is a property I am giving. And in this case also, this becomes a selector and this becomes a declaration. So this is one simple example of element selector. This is only I have discussed so far, but I didn't give a name, I didn't termed a name called element selector. Okay. Now once you run this program, what is happening? It is printing hi message in pink color and the background of the body is in green color. You can observe the output carefully. Okay, this is an example of element selector. Okay, so next is I am going to discuss on universal selector. So universal selector means, wait, I am going to modify the same program. I think I should completely rub it. Okay, so for example, universal selector means where you are applying the style rule for all the tags or all the elements present in the HTML. Example, universal selector is identified by this symbol asterisk. So color I am giving pink, font style I am giving italic. Close it. So now it is according to the syntax of CSS only, selector and list of properties. This is universal selector. So now close the style, close the body, close the head, open body. So now what happens? I have given a paragraph tag, hi. Then H2 tag, hello. So finally close body, also close HTML. So now what happens? You are using universal selector, right? So using universal selector, whatever the style rule you have set, that will be applied for all the elements present in the body tag. So you can run this program. Finally you can notice this is the output. What has happened? Individually I have not set any property or style rule for a tag, but still because of using this universal selector, you can notice the output in this way. So where hi and hello both are printed in pink with font style italic. Okay. So next we will move on to a topic called grouping selector. Grouping selector means, I will take an example so that you can understand. Okay, for example P. For P I am taking a color pink. Okay. For tag H2 I am taking a color pink. So now once you run this program, what happens? Hi and hello both are printed in pink color because you have set the same type of style rule. Is it right? So if there are any elements which are having same set of style rules means, you can group them together. How means? See, I will group it. P, H2, then give color pink. This is how. So this is one example of grouping selector, and all the selectors which are having same group are being separated by comma operator. Understood everyone? Yes. So next we will move to class selectors. What is this? We will move to class selectors. What is this class selector? What is this class selector? Select HTML elements with respective class attribute. Again I will repeat, which selects HTML element with respective class attribute. How means? I have to take an example, then only you can understand it easily. For example, inside a head part only, within style only, you have to set a class attribute. Always the class attribute should begin with dot, and you have to give a class name. I am giving the class name called first, and also make sure that whatever the class name you are giving should not be your elements or tags present in an HTML. For example, P, already we have a tag, is it right? So you should not use it as a class name. So that's why I have introduced a new class name called first, and always the class attribute should be prefixed with dot. Okay. So now for a class attribute you have to give a property or a style rules. Okay. I am giving a style rule color blue. So this much is enough. Now how this class can be adapted to our elements in HTML means, for example, I am going to modify this P class, saying that you are implementing class attribute equals which class you want to embed. Which class you want to embed? Already you have listed the class called first, right? So first, while giving this you don't give dot here, okay, only while declaring you have to give. Okay, so now close P, give a message hi, now close P. So finally, once you run this program, what happens? You can look into the output. Hi is printed in blue color and hello is printed as it is, where I have not used any class attribute. Getting everyone? This is about class attribute. It means which selects the HTML element for respective class attribute. Okay. So, and also you can not only one class attribute, you can take another one. I am going to take the another one called second, and there I am taking style rule like font, style, italic. So now what happens? If I have declared second class attribute called second, once you run this program, the output remains same. Even though you have defined this next one, that has not been embedded to our tag or any of the tag. So that's why the output remains same. So what I can do means, either I can replace first with second, so finally you will get different output, or I can do in this way, class equals second. There I will print a message hello. So now what happens? You can look into the output where hi is printed in which color? Blue. Since it has having a class attribute first, and hello message is printed in the style italic because it has embedded the class second. Okay, this is about class selector. So next is about ID selector. It is also same as that of the class selector. Instead of that, we will make use of an ID attribute. For the same program, I am going to make a changes. How means? For a class selector, we begin with dot, right? Whereas in ID, we begin with ash. So ash, I am going to give first, ash second. So now this becomes ID. So whereas here, what changes you have to do? Tell me. ID equals first. Here ID equals second. Getting everyone? ID is an attribute used to select an HTML element or to format an HTML element where we can set the style rules. And also you may think that always I am making use of simple properties only, or only one style rule only. No, nothing like that. You can change the font size, you can change the font family, so on like that. You can work with that. Okay, it is not like that. You can take something like that, font size 50 px, like this also you can work. Now you run the program. What happens? You can notice the hi message is printed in first, hi message is printed in blue color and also with the size of 50, whereas hello is printed in style italic. So this is about ID selector. Thank you one and all.